You're tuned into The Kirby Critic with Carla Renata. Carla shoots straight from the hip with what's hot and what's not in the box office, the latest film news, and talent from above and below the line. Are you ready? Then let's get into it with your girl right now. This is The Kirby Critic with Carla Renata.
So let's talk a little bit about Cutthroat City. When I saw Cutthroat City, I thought about it. And to me, and I'm probably the only person that thinks this, but when I was screening it, it felt very much like a male version of Set It Off to me, just by virtue of the fact that it was 4 people, 4 guys, Set It Off, 4 girls. They were all friends. They all were in situations where they became desperate for one reason or another and did what they had to do despite their aspirations in life. And to me, it seemed very similar what was going on in Cutthroat City. And I know it's a post-Katrina story, and I had not seen a story around Hurricane Katrina that dealt with the lives after the hurricane. Because usually when we saw stuff about Katrina, it was during the aftermath. It was not during the aftermath, but right after it happened.
Yeah,
we would see people on the roofs and in the water and the Superdome and all of that. But we never really know what happened to some of those people. So is that part of the reason that drew you to directing this particular film, just so that we could see another slice of life from that time?
When I got the story, though, it wasn't just only I got a chance to look and show through art a family after the calamity of Katrina a year later, but to me also, I'm showing a family and a group of men that face calamity no matter what part of the country we're in. To me, I could do that same story after the Flint, Michigan water problem. I could do that same story in Chicago with all the violence. I could do that same story on Staten Island in my projects. And actually, to be honest, as a part of that story, I lived myself.
Wow.
Okay. And the part in the movie, and I don't mind sharing this, this is a spoiler alert, but I have the actress, Eiza Gonzalez. She plays the police, Lucinda. And if you recall the scene where she tells Blink, played by Shamik Moore, she says, a pencil could take you a lot further than a gun.
Right. I do remember that.
Well, he says not in his hood, right? Not in the Ninth Ward.
Right.
But that line, I put that in there because that was my answer. A pencil, a pen. It took me further than all the guns and all the bullshit crap that I was into as a young man. And I wanted to put that idea to our audience that sometimes, we think that it's not cool having what's been considered geek culture, right? Like in comic books or drawing or playing music or playing chess, or picking up that pencil. You know what I mean? But if somebody pull a gun out, everybody's like, yo, yo, yo. And the idea I wanted to show in the movie, because that was something that happened to me, where I was headed down a path where I thought the gun was the way, and the pen became mightier than the sword for me.
Wow. Wow. I'm a little taken aback by that, because that's very powerful what you just shared. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I kind of figured that the pen was like your superpower, because a lot of people may or may not know, but not only did you direct Cutthroat City, but you've written on some films that nobody, including myself, would have been like, RZA was a writer on that? Like that Amy Schumer joint, I Feel Pretty, or Ozark, or Westworld, or The Gentleman. I saw The Gentleman. Or Straight Outta Compton, or Best Man Holiday. Dude, you are killing it. You went from Staten Island to Hollywood in a way that most people are not able to navigate, let alone be successful in. So congratulations and kudos to you on that, because it's huge.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate that. And I'll just say for your listeners, it's just, taking your talent and your art and cultivating it and nourishing it, I'm sure it's going to bring out great results. Even if the results is just self-satisfaction, right? Which is a big start. Like for me, I remember me and ODB, just making our first little demo tape and then playing it back,
Right.
that was a big start. So, you know, I just want anybody out there who's who has the artistic aspirations or the writing aspirations or whatever, to just keep pushing, keep going. It's like a sword. You keep sharpening it, and soon it'll be able to cut through any resistance.
You're such a prolific brother. I love that. Which brings me to this. You're very socially conscious and you're very culturally conscious. And I know that you helped or you teamed up with Good Humor to rewrite that ice cream truck song, that one that we've been hearing for decades and decades and decades. But nobody knows that that song comes from a 1912 song called Turkey in the Straw, where they calling us all kinds of things in the lyrics of that song. You know what I mean? So why did Good Humor, did you contact Good Humor, or did Good Humor come to you and say, let's change this? It's time for this it's time for us to make a change.
No, they actually contacted me. And they brought it to my attention. You know, they said, did you know? I said, I've been seeing it online, but I wasn't fully aware. I think some brother did an article that really exposed it. And that's the beautiful thing about Black Twitter or social media. We get to say things and put it out there, baby.
Yep.
Put it in face. And I will give Good Humor, you got to give Good Humor their kudos, because they don't even make ice cream trucks and they got nothing to do with the song. But they were the fathers of ice cream trucks, right? And so what they said was like, yo, we're going to be proactive and we're going to make a song to replace that. And are you interested in being a composer? And I was like, yo, if it's anything positive to make a better tomorrow, you can count me in. And that's what the goal was, to, you know, the best way I can say it is, if you get a chance to replace a negative with a positive in your own lifetime, do it. Okay. And that's what we was doing on that one.
That's what I'm trying to do with this podcast. I try to uplift people that are above and below the line in the industry that most people don't think about being above and below the line. And everybody thinks of folks above the line, but they never talk to the composers. They never talk to the writers. They never talk to the producers. And I try to bring a little light and love to those people that are people of color and women specifically. So I feel you on that point. Last but not least, again, I'm going to give you your flowers, because you are a SAG nominated director. You are Emmy nominated brother. You cross so many different lanes and tick so many different boxes. But all of that started with your brotherhood of a lifetime with Wu-Tang Crew, right? Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang Clan. Yes, indeed.
And I think you're about to embark on producing another project that centers around a member of the clan, which is Old Dirty Bastard, right?
Well, we do have his movie. We've been trying to develop a film based on his life, and we covered some ground. We've covered some ground, and I'm gonna keep pushing. And you know, he has a life. Right, I said have, right, because I hate to say had, right? He has a life that I think will inspire generations, you know, because in the midst of everything about him, we've seen the TV persona, or we've seen some of the things people say that was outlandish and crazy about him, but he actually was a very unique individual, and his heart was big as the sun, yo. I mean, he really was a special individual, and if that's a part of him, you know, being that I grew up with him, there's a part of him I think the world would love to know, and I think that part of him that they would love to know, they'll recognize that's a part of them. You know what I mean? So we're working on that, and I didn't know you knew about that, but yeah, we're working hard on that.
Yes, honey, I do my research. I don't just have people on here and not look up what's happening. You know, I would be remiss in that. You and your team would be looking at me cross-eyed going, what the hell is she doing and what is she talking about?
All right.
So, yeah, okay. I got to make sure I know what's up. But
got long? No.
I don't know. I ain't got one of them, you know. Let's hope not, child, because if I had a beard, that's a whole different conversation we need to be having. But I wanna say that there's no better person to uplift the life of ODB other than you. So I'm glad that project is safely in your hands. I again applaud you for everything that you have accomplished up to this point. And when that film happens, I need you to come back and talk to me. And if we are partying in person at that time, I need to be at that premiere. I need to be at that party, and we need to be taking some selfies. All right.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Talk soon.
Yes, absolutely. Bye, my brother. To keep up with the Curvy Critic, like our page here, click that subscribe button, and click that bell for notifications. Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.